spoke to Ben Davidson earlier, and he said he gets more nervous about the fights where he's just a fan, where he's just supporting someone. Do you think that's the same for you? When you've got no control over what's happening in the ring, you feel more nervous?
I feel like when you have no control, you are more nervous. And of course, I'm a very close friend to Tyson, and I get nervous for him. But I couldn't imagine how, his team feels, his dad, his brothers, and the other people that are close to him. But I do get nervous because, like you say, you have no control. You're not sure what's going to happen.
How is life being an honorary resident of Morecambe, by the way? There can't be many New Zealand nationals going to Morecambe, you know?
Morecambe has been very good to me. The people of Morecambe have been good to me. Tyson's been good to me. I've made friends in Morecambe. I got like my cafe that I go to. I got like a restaurant that I go to. Like, I got the apartment there that my good friend looks after me with the apartment as well. Had my family up here for 4 months. Like, I'm a citizen. I think I'm a citizen of this country.
Dillian Whyte, his training camp, again, we've not seen much of it, but it's been quiet in the build-up. Until this weekend, we haven't seen anything. We haven't had interviews, we haven't had training footage. We've had one interview in this whole build-up. Do you think that's been a deliberate choice?
I think it's just his deliberate choice of not wanting to be involved too much in the lead-up to the fight. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's not good because the public are here to see two fighters, the two main events. No, they're here to see the undercard, but they're here to see Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury. I think he should have been more involved, but that's his decision. And hopefully he just shows up for the weigh-in and fight night.
Yeah. Do you think he'll feel, when it's all said and done, when it's all over, do you think he's going to feel as though he's missed out on getting the photos at Wembley and being involved in the build-up and doing the documentary? Do you think he's going to feel like he's missed out on something there?
I feel like he has missed out, and I feel he will have that feeling because there are supporters of him here, hers here, and there's fans here that want to see him. But then again, I don't know.
If we just cut back to this camera quickly, we have the title that's on the line there. You touch it. You're the boxer.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to touch it.
Don't want to jinx it. Don't want to jinx it. As you can see here, we've got the Union belt. It's taking place on St George's Day. I think it's going to be a pretty insane atmosphere in there, given it's St George's Day. Two British heavyweights fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship and this new custom title, which I'm just going to put this down to.
What a belt! It's a nice belt, very nice belt.
So you're hoping that comes back to Morecambe and you can walk round to your favourite calf, just borrow it?
Nah, listen, to be honest, I've only touched Tyson's belt once after he beat Wilder, but I want to hold it when it's mine.
Yeah.
I want to hold it if I can get a chance to fight for it again and win.
Is that a big thing for boxers in general? Are you like quite a superstitious bunch?
No, not really. I have touched the belt and I will touch it, but if it was mine, I'll grab it and hold it and put it on my shoulder.
So what kind of fight are you expecting on Saturday night? I don't think, I mentioned earlier, Dillian Whyte doesn't really have boring fights. Fury's been a great entertainer in his last few fights. The Wilder fights go down as heavyweight classics. What kind of fight do you think we're going to get?
Tyson's very entertaining in his fights. Dillian Whyte always comes ready, prepared, game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Dillian Whyte has planned or how he's going to approach the fight, whether it's going to be pressure, whether he's going to be on the back foot. But the great thing about Tyson and what I've seen is that he can adapt and adjust according to what's in front of him, and I think that's a very positive thing.
Please tell me that your dance moves are going to make some kind of cameo during the massive entrance. We nearly got one there.
My dance moves will probably make its debut on Tyson's entrance. No, I don't know.
This is what I'm expecting now. Joseph Parker riding down on a horse, throwing shapes. St George's Day popping off. There we go. We're body popping. Right. I believe Tyson's about to start his workout, so we'll cut back to the ring. And I think, Joseph, we may be replacing you.
Replacing me.
Frank Warren.
Yeah.
Oh, still. You've been great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You're right.
How we doing, Frank? All good?
Thinking cold, and I've got a sore throat.
It's all right. You look great. You look great in the mask.
Other than that, I'm marvellous.
It does you a lot of favours. It's a great look.
Yeah.
It would come now, wouldn't it? Typical, it would come now.
Sod's law, isn't it? As I say.
So, Frank, cold aside, you must be so excited to be involved in something this big. Being outside Wembley now and seeing the first sort of sight of the public, this must give you that big fight buzz.
Well, it is. It's the biggest boxing gate ever in Europe. and it's the highest grossing event, not just boxing event, to ever take place at Wembley Stadium.
When that 94,000th ticket sold, were you leaning back in your chair thinking job done?
Well, it's only partly done because obviously we bid $41 million for the fight plus the rest of the cost, and we got to make sure that the pay-per-view works, which I believe it will do. It's a hot ticket, it's a hot fight, and I think we're going to see something special on the night.
What do you think to this fight, having been the build-up? We haven't seen much of either camp. It's all been very behind closed doors. That's maybe quite a rare thing in modern super fights. You see so little of either fighter.
Well,
are you thinking that they're both working on new plans for each other?
No, not at all. Listen, Tyson's been very good. He's done all that's asked of him, but you can't keep having a press conference with one person, and that's been the problem. Thankfully, we've resolved some stuff now with Dillian. I'm a bit disappointed I'm not here today, but anyway, he'll be there tomorrow. He has done a great interview with BT, which I thought was sensational, and that's good for him. You know, the people who bought tickets, the people who are going to buy into the pay-per-view, they want to know who he is. They want to hear from him, hear about his journey. And it's a bit frustrating that it's taken so long for him to do something. But now he's doing quite a few things on social media. So hopefully tomorrow, when the two of them get together, we're going to see some more fireworks.
Well, it's not a fight week, Frank, but I don't see you separating two fighters. I never see you happier than when you're separating two fighters.
Well, I'm not too happy. I'm an old geezer now. I don't like being the meat in that sandwich, I promise you.
I know, I can see it in your eyes, though. You separated two fighters and you think, oh, there we go, we've got them. That's the last couple of tickets sold.
Look, this fight, the public have bought into it. They bought into Tyson's homecoming. They bought into this fight, and it's going to be it will be a great fight. You know, you see Dillian. They see from the interview you guys done with him, he is in tip-top condition. You only got to look at Tyson, who says himself he's the best condition he's been in physically and mentally. And look at the great performances he's had in his 3 previous world title fights. So if he's in better form now, then you're going to see something extra special with him on the night.
Was there ever any doubt in your mind that this would sell how it has?
I didn't think it'd sell out in a day. I thought it'd be well received. But that to be honest, that took me a little bit by surprise. But that tells you how he's touched a nerve with the British public, how they've got behind him. They've all been on that journey with him. They've seen his ups and downs. They've seen his successes in America, and they all want to share with him his comeback to the UK, which is nearly 4 years out since he's been here. So that's what they've done. They've bought into it, and I think we're going to have a fantastic night, emotional night. St George's Day. So
yeah, we've just been looking at the belt, the special belt as well.
They've made a special belt for it. So they've got a Lancashire Rose on it as well, hasn't it?
I'm sure White's pleased with the Lancashire Rose, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, they've obviously looked at it as the Rose of England, but anyway, that's what it is.
What do you think? What Dillian Whyte do you think we're going to see on fight night? Because he's going to have to bring something different than he's ever brought out of himself to fight Tyson Fury.
He is going to have to do that. He's going to have to be tip-top. He's fighting the best heavyweight of his generation, lineal champion. He's going to have to do something special. But he believes he can. He's a very confident guy. You know, as much as with the sort of the previous non-cooperation we had was a pain. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and the nitty-gritty is when he gets in the ring. You know, he's got a big heart. You know, he can punch it. You know, he comes to fight, and he's not going to be shy coming forward. So with him and Tyson can adapt. He can box on the back foot, on the front foot. He can do what he likes. But I think I see Tyson using his physical attributes, his jab, his movement. But I believe there's going to become a moment in the fight where they're going to go toe to toe, and that's where I think the fight will be won.
It's very much one of those situations where people say styles makes fights. That old cliche, styles makes fights. And this is it, isn't it? It's the technical boxer against the powerhouse, the slugger. He calls himself the body snatcher. Do you think it's going to be one of those fights where, like you mentioned, there's going to be brawling at some points, or someone is going to have to try and make it a boxing match?
Look, Tyson's not a slugger. Tyson's a boxer, first and foremost. He's got a great boxing brain. And as I say, he'll use his physical attributes. It'd be a fool not to. But there comes a time in a fight where you have to get in the trenches, and that's what will happen.
And in the build-up, Tyson's been talking about this maybe being his last one. Now we know that Tyson, there's a good chance he changes his mind on quite a lot of things. And when he hears 94,000 people, I'm in time with Thomas Stripe. When he's in front of all those people, do you think there's a part of him that will think, I want to do this a few more times? Or do you think he really does have his mind set on making this one big last show?
I've not even had a conversation about it. We'll see what happens after the fight. But whatever he wants to do, I'll support him 100%. If he retires, that's his choice. He's the guy getting in the ring. He's the guy who's putting his life on the line, who's taking the punches. If he wants to do that, then we'll all agree, and that's the way it goes. If he wants to carry on, I'll be wholeheartedly behind him. What I would never let happen is I didn't feel he could carry on. I would do my best to stop him.
All right then, Frank. Well, we'll leave it to it for now. Have a wonderful fight week. I'm sure we'll see you a few times. And I look forward to you grinning in between the two fighters as you hold them apart.
So do I. I'm going to throw you in the middle. Don't worry about that.
Thank you, Frank.
Cheers, bro.
Appreciate it. We're live. That's just me posing towards the camera. I'm joined by Otto Wallin here, former opponent of Tyson Fury. You just got a little cameo in the ring there. That must have been a nice moment for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tyson, he's a nice guy. We had a good fight, and outside of that, we don't have any bad blood or anything. He's a pretty cool guy and a cool character.
You actually gave Tyson one of his hardest fights with the cut that you opened up. It's one of the sort of images that people remember of him throughout his whole career. Did you realise at the time quite how good he was?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that Tyson from before. I mean, I'd watched him with Klitschko and everything, and I've been watching him for a long time. I knew what he was about, and I mean, he's a really good fighter. I feel like I am too, so can't forget that. But Tyson, he's a good fighter. He's a smart fighter. He knows how to adapt well, and he did that in our fight. When he got cut, he changed his game plan around, and he kept fighting, which was somewhat impressive, I would say, because it was huge cuts. He had 2 cuts actually, and yeah.
Since then, for you, Travis Kaufman, Brazil, and Sokolowski, 3 big wins, but you nearly had the Dillian Whyte fight.
Yeah.
How much of you this week is waiting for him to turn up so you can give a piece of your mind?
It was frustrating what happened. We had contract signed, everything, training almost done. In the morning, I was heading to the airport, and late, like right before that, I get a call saying, hey, the fight might be off, he has an injury. So it was very disappointing, but it was very clear that this was the fight he wanted. They didn't want to reschedule our fight. He didn't want to risk losing against me, because then he would lose out on this.
What do you want to go for next then? What after this fight happens, would you maybe want to pursue getting that Whyte fight over the line? Because it's clear you're very popular with the English crowd.
Yeah, no, I think I have a good platform here in the UK, especially after that Fury fight, and people knows about me, and I really like the UK fans, and I can't wait to experience Wembley on Saturday. I've never been there, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I've heard good stories about it over the years, and yeah, I'm excited to experience it on my own, and hopefully next time I'll be here, I'll be the one fighting.
Did that fight change a lot of things for you? Because you very much, despite in defeat, you almost came out of it a winner. Did things change for you as a boxer in your career after fighting Tyson Fury?
I mean, definitely. I think that my life really changed. My boxing stock just shot to the sky, and it's made my life better. And it shows. I mean, all my hard work that I put in over the years finally starting to pay off. And I was so happy when I got that fight, because I had been waiting for that, since I was a kid. So it's a really good moment for me. But I have a lot more to do. I need to become a world champion. That's what I want to do, and I'm fighting for it. I feel like the way to get another shot for me is gonna be just to push myself through the rankings and to get up there to be ordered a shot, because there's not a lot of people that's calling out my name.
On to Tyson. He's obviously, you know him better than anyone, having been in the ring with him. You shared the ring with him for 12 rounds, which not many people have done. How good is he? Do you put him up there with the all-time greats of the sport?
That's really hard for me, because I haven't been around for that long, and I try to watch Holyfield, Lewis, all those guys, Mike Tyson, Ali, and everybody. But Tyson, he's one of the best of this era for sure. all-time great, it's really hard for me to tell. But Tyson is a very good fighter, and he has the size. And you know, looking back in other eras, those guys were smaller, and so it's kind of hard to go against Fury because of that size. But he's a really good fighter.
In the heavyweight division, what fights do you want to see him have? Because there's talk that this may be his last match. Are there fights that you would like to see him have before he retires?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I want a rematch. Yeah. One. And then, you know, Usyk and Joshua winner. I think even if Joshua loses again, it can be a big fight with him and Joshua here in the UK. If Usyk wins, I would like to see Fury and Usyk. I think that's the biggest fights right now. And then, I don't think he's going to retire. I think he'll keep fighting.
Yeah. I mean, we see Tyson, we know how good he is as a boxer, but as you can hear there, he's playing to the crowd a little bit. What do you admire about him as an entertainer as well, as a ticket seller, as an attraction for TV and films and documentaries? What do you admire about him for that?
Yeah, no, I think he's doing a really good job. I think he's charismatic guy, and he knows how to get people behind him. He likes to talk a lot, but that only works if you're as good as him. I feel like if you have somebody that talks a lot of trash, but can't really back it up, then it kind of gets pathetic. And Fury, he has those skills, and he has shown over the years that he's a really good fighter, and that's why it works for him. Because, you know, with some of the things he says, if he would come in and, you know, get outboxed and lose a couple fights, it would be totally different when he says those things. But just because he's very good, he can't say that.
How do you think Dillian Whyte could beat Tyson Fury? How would he have to do it?
Well, he needs to make a fight out of it. He can't stay on the outside. There's no way he's going to win a boxing match against Fury. So he's got to be aggressive, work the body, and cut off the ring. And when Fury gets close to him, don't let him tie you up and lean on you. Start with the body and hit him with that left hook to the head. Maybe he can open up that cut that he had open in my fight. I think that would be his best way.
Yeah, do you think in a way, the Fury, since his comeback, you maybe provided a little bit of a blueprint for people how to fight him?
I think so. I mean, I gave him a really good fight. I feel like I'm the only guy that he's ever fought that could match his skills, really. And I think I did that because I'm a tricky southpaw. I'm a smart guy. I have pretty fast hands, fast feet. And I have a good team, so we had a really good game plan. And that all played part of it.
How do you see it going, Otto?
Well, I think it's going to be an entertaining fight, a good fight, but eventually I think Fury's going to take over. I think he's going to come out. I believe that he's going to come out boxing, trying to outbox Dillian. The way Dillian can win the fight is, like I said, making a fight, have Fury stand toe-to-toe with him. You know, Fury has done that with Wilder, but Wilder is very different from Whyte. So I believe Whyte is better on the inside. He's heavier than Wilder, and he's got good power also. So I can see Fury coming out boxing him and do it that way. Maybe later on put it on him a little bit more, try to get him out of there.
Did you think he'd beat Wilder the second time? Did you think he would do it?
Yeah, of course. And that's actually funny you say that, because a lot of people thought after our fight, oh shit, Fury's done now. But that wasn't the case. I mean, he was as good as ever. It's just me that was good. I was a lot better than what people thought or gave me credit for. But I don't blame them. They haven't seen me on that level before. I hadn't been on that level before, and I wasn't that big of a name, so that's probably why. But now, a lot of people realizing that I am a good fighter, and the people that are not convinced, I'm sure I convince them too soon.
Well, what do you think Wilder will do next? That's a fight that I guess a lot of the guys in the heavyweight division will want to look at.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know what Wilder's doing. I think he said something that he was going to go into the woods and do some mushrooms or something to figure out if he's going to keep fighting or not.
That's where you got to go, Otto. Go out there, have some ayahuasca, whatever it is, and challenge him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I can find some good stuff in New York.
Okay, Otto, we're going to watch some of Tyson in the ring here at the open workout, but thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're doing a workout.
All right, we're here with Isaac Lowe, long-time friend of Tyson Fury, and you're also on the undercard tonight, a tricky fight against Nick Ball. While we're watching Tyson on the pad, talk to us about how you think your fight's going to go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fight of the night. I think the fans need to be in, get drunk, get the popcorn, and it's going to be a hell of a fight for them. We know what Nick Ball brings, we all know what I bring, so we're going to meet in the middle at some point, and we're going to let bombs go, so someone's got to go.
And for you personally, being involved in something this massive, this 94,000 sold out event at Wembley Stadium, the National Stadium, you must be very excited.
Yeah, of course. You know, listen, I'm experienced. I box all over the world. I box the MGM, T-Mobile Centre. You name it, I've been there. Do you know what I mean? But this is just a dream come true. Wembley Stadium, the football national stadium, 94,000 people, chief support. You name it. It can't get no bigger than that, can it? So I'm ready, shaping my life, and I'm ready to put a show on.
You've known Tyson throughout his entire career, and you've seen him at all these different events. Do you think there's a difference in him in this event? Bringing something extra out of him, knowing that he's the home fighter in his home stadium, all these people.
Tyson's Tyson, I say it all the time. Everyone says, oh, watch it like this training camp, watch it like that training camp. Training camp's training camp for us. We train hard every camp, whoever it is, whoever we'll fight the journeyman or the #1 in the world. We train the exact same, we don't take no off guard. And he's had a brilliant camp, same as myself. We've enjoyed it, we're here, we're 4 days out, we're fit, we're healthy, we've got no injuries, and we're ready to give the fans value for money.
We can already see Tyson and Shug putting on a show here. SugarHill, Steward, his trainer. Is this the part of fight week when he starts to see the fans, when he starts to see the people, when he gets the first opportunity to be the main man, the star of the show? Is this the part where he starts to change?
Switching on, yeah, of course. It's the same as I was saying myself. You think about it and all that, but when you get here, the fans get here, you see the fans, everyone shouting, the atmosphere, the music, you start to get tingles down your spine, so this is what I'm made to do, this is the moment. So yeah, as you can see in the ring there, he's looking super sharp, he's looking good, and I think he's just going to be on fire Saturday night, he's going to be unbeatable.
It must be a strange thing for you being on these cards, because you have to concentrate so massively on your own fight.
Yeah.
But you have this enormous thing happening with one of your best friends in the world happening later on in the night.
Yeah, I get more nervous for when he's fighting than I do my own self. I think it's a natural thing, you're under control of your own self. But yeah, I do get nervous. It's like thinking about my own fight, but I'm trying to think about him at the same time. But sometimes you've got to be selfish. I've got to think about myself. I've got a dangerous opponent in front of me. I've got to get me win. Then I can enjoy it and sit back and watch the Gypsy King do his magic.
How long does it take for that adrenaline to wear off after your fights? I've seen you after some of your fights. You picked up little hand injuries here and there, things like that. You maybe had a cut, and you have to then just like adjust to the rest of the night and support Tyson.
It's quite hard. It's quite hard. People like you've been there. You've seen me breaking hands, cut eyebrows. You've seen me go to hospital, and people sometimes, or even when you've won, and like obviously you've come out, and people's coming over, only trying to be nice, say congratulations, give me a cuddle or whatever. Can I get a picture? And you feel like saying like, just leave me alone for a minute. Like
you have to support Tyson for that as well.
And it's going to be hard this time for me because coming out the ring, it's like get a quick shower, whatever. I'll jump back out. Probably won't even have time. But as long as we both get the W, I'll enjoy the general rewards.
All right. So Dillian Whyte, and you're going to have to, we're live here, so you're going to have to watch your language. I know you're probably going to want to use some choice language about Dillian Whyte, but what do you think about him not showing up today and throughout the build-up?
Listen, obviously he's got his own issues. I'm not going to come here and rip him on live TV, do you know what I mean? He's got his issues, but it's his own self what he's let down, his own family. As I going back to the occasion, it's 94,000 people, Wembley football ground. It's the biggest heavyweight fight, you know what I mean? You don't get any bigger. For not to be here to enjoy it all and not see it all and do the build-up, in 10 years' time when he's sat on his sofa, he'll be thinking about just going to the arena, he won't think about doing all this, he won't do all this, he won't have no pictures to show the kids. So it's down to his own self, but he knows if he comes here, he's going to get into a row, and he can't face Tyson. He doesn't want to.
Let's have a listen to what Tyson's saying for the moment. Let's listen to Tyson.
Bringing his A game, he's going to fight the best.
Been on some beds, hasn't he?
I hope I'm going to fight the best of the night, and we're going to give the fans a real treat because you've got two top heavyweights in the world going to smash each other to bits for the entertainment of the paying customer. So enjoy it, guys. It's going to be a lot of fireworks, a lot of bombs getting slinged, and I wonder who's going to get knocked out first. It ain't going to be me, I tell you that.